Hey, what's up everybody? Jake here and welcome to the hobby. Things are in a kind of a weird state right now where a bunch of Pokemon cards are going up, other cards are going down. Things are kind of in disarray and I wanted to see what cards are actually consistent right now. What cards are consistently going down, and when I went down this rabbit hole, I also wanted to see what cards are consistently going up. These are cards that aren't really being impacted by the market, I guess. These are cards that are consistently getting cheaper and cheaper, and some cards that are consistently getting more and more expensive. And I figured this would be kind of interesting, so I want to see what some of these cards are, so let's check it out. Before we get started, I would like to thank the Collector app for sponsoring today's video. If you haven't checked them out, try them out today because they are completely free. All of the data I got from today's video is on the Collector app. I have my whole entire collection on the Collector app, so if you want to see what cards I have inside of my collection, you can click the link down in the description and see my whole entire collection showcase. The Collector app contains a ton of useful data, and they are a super powerful tool for any collector. So let's check out some Pokemon cards that have only really trended down, and as well I threw in some cards that have only trended up, and you might see a little bit of a pattern here with what some of these cards are. First up, for some cards that have only trended down, we got ourselves some Surging Sparks Illustration Rare. Surging Sparks Illustration Rares look to be only getting cheaper and cheaper. We got ourselves the Latios Illustration Rare, a very desirable illustration rare. All-time high was $50 and it's currently going for $30. It's only really consistently gone down in price. We also have ourselves the Cerulege Illustration Rare from Surging Sparks as well. It used to go for as much as $45, but currently it's only going for $23. So these cards are consistently going down in price, even though they are quite desirable illustration rare. And this actually makes total sense because Surging Sparks is a brand new Pokemon card set. Even though the sealed products are a little bit hard to come by, people are still ripping Surging Sparks packs, and if they get themselves some duplicate copies of some of these illustration rares, they are going to put them on the market. So prices on a lot of newer illustration rares from newer sets are consistently going down in price, which is very interesting. Next up, we got ourselves, I think, some really underrated cards, which are the gold hyper rare cards from a lot of different sets. Some of the ones that I like to call out is the Roaring Moon EX hyper rare, which used to go for $10 and it's currently going for $6, consistently going down in price. We also have some other gold rare cards that I like to call out. Cards like the Cinderace EX gold rare used to go for $8. It's currently going for $3. A whopping $3 for a gold hyper rare card. I can understand it if you don't want some of these cards, then don't pick them up. But for $3 for a hyper rare card, which is usually a harder pull than a special illustration rare. If Europe opened 1,000 booster packs, you might still not see a single one of these cards. That's how rare some of the hyper rares are. They are incredibly hard to pull. 1,000 booster packs, you might see 2 or 3 hyper rares, and the odds of you finding the one you want is incredibly hard. Another one that's really cool would be the Garchomp EX Gold Rare. Again, super cool chase card, and it's going for $10. For the price of 1 or 2 booster packs, you're getting yourself some of the hardest chase cards inside of these sets. And it may take some time for people to recognize some of these rarities, but I do think these cards look significantly better than people give them credit for. And for the price, it's super, super low risk. And they are consistently going down in price. These cards have not gone up at all. But I do think that pendulum might swing sometime in the future. Next up, we also got ourselves a bunch of Trainer Special Illustration Rares. Trainer Special Illustration Rares specifically have not been very favorable in the market right now, and a lot of them have consistently gone down. We got ourselves the Twilight Masquerade SIRs, the Kirin SIR. All-time high was $58, and it's currently going for $28. Same with the Carmine. Its all-time high was $120, and it's currently going for right around $85. So a lot of full art trainer cards are going down. And I wanted to call out this one. The Full Art Trainer Nimona, really solid card, is 89 cents. Some of these full art trainer cards are so incredibly cheap. For $20 or $30, you can get yourself large binders full of really cool cards at incredible prices, right? For the price of a single booster pack, you're getting yourself 5 unique full art trainer cards. these might actually be really underrated. These have only consistently gone down. I'm not talking about cards that have gone up and then gone down. These are cards that have only really gone down in price. And you can sort of see a trend where they're all modern cards, and they're not cards that the market currently or people are currently really hyped for, but they may be desirable in the future. We also have ourselves some promo cards that have only consistently gone down, and you'll recognize these because they are from more recent products. We got ourselves the Sprigatito and the Fuecoco from the EX promo box for Horizons, and these used to go for $3 to $4 a card, and now they are going for pretty much $1 a card, so that's a significant drop in price, and that's pretty normal for a lot of promo cards, is that they get cheaper and cheaper, but eventually as the promo cards run out on the market, they slowly start to climb. My one gripe is that there really isn't a Quaxley. There is technically one, but it doesn't really fit the theme of the set. It's a holographic reverse, and the Quaxley used to go for $10. It's currently going for $9. It's not really a part of the set, but if you want a complete set of the Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley, I wanted to at least call that one out as an additional option. And another promo card that is consistently going down is the Pikachu promo card from the Paldea Adventure Chest. I just wanted to call this one out because, again, modern promo cards are going to get cheaper and cheaper as people are opening up these products. The Pikachu used to be $15. Right now it's going for $7, so its price has been slashed in half. And that is pretty consistent with modern promos. But what happens is once the product runs out, the promo cards slowly and steadily start to climb and climb and climb. And you can see this with older promo cards, is that they just consistently go up because no one is opening up these products anymore. There aren't additional copies of some of these promo cards, and they usually start to climb at a certain point, especially for Pikachu promo cards because there's just a lot of Pikachu collectors out there. Same with some other Trainer Gallery or Galarian Gallery card. One that has been consistently going down for the past year is the Manaphy from the Crown Zenith set. It used to go for $5 or $6 at its all-time high, and it's only consistently gone down. These are cards that have not spiked at all. None of these cards went up and then went down. All of these cards really just went down and down and down. And the Manaphy used to be $6. It's currently going for $3. Again, really, really solid illustration rare card. You'd probably be happy to pull it inside of your booster pack, and it's going for less than the price of a booster pack. That's when I start saying, hey, if I don't have this card inside of my collection, I might want to pick it up. Next up, let's look at some products and cards that have only consistently gone up in price. And this is really interesting because we really don't have any products that have consistently gone down. None that has booster packs inside of it. So the sealed product side, everything has been consistently getting more expensive, which is not as fun. But let's look at some products that have only consistently gone up in price. And the one that I like to shout out, and I could have shouted out a bunch of different ones, but the one that I'm going to shout out is the Hidden Fates Elite Trainer Box, because this is really the little ETB that could. No one really talks about Hidden Fates. It's kind of like a sleeper, but Elite Trainer boxes for Hidden Fates at its all-time lowest, which is consistently across the last year. It used to go for between $150 to $170 an Elite Trainer box, and now they are going for $290 to $300 an Elite Trainer box. So definitely just consistently and slowly climbing, and that makes total sense because Hidden Fates is completely out of stock, out of print. The only way you're going to pick yourself up an ETB is if you're buying it from another collector, and another collector is most likely not going to be able to offload an ETB at lower prices than what they paid for it. So that's why it just consistently goes up. It's completely out of print. There's no more FOMO for a set like this either. So you don't see a large spike and then a dip that you might see with modern cards. Next up, we got ourselves the Team Aqua Kyogre and the Team Magma Groudon. Both of these cards really solid and super cool. No market manipulation here, no pump and dump, none of that, just consistent growth. And these cards used to go for right around $90 at their all-time lowest a year ago. And now they are going for $275 for the Kyogre and right around $250 for the Groudon. Both very consistent, just slowly and steadily climbing up in value. The only way you're gonna get a copy of this card is from another collector, and there aren't a ton of them on the market. These are cards that just slowly and consistently goes up. You don't really have to worry about timing things. You don't have to worry about these cards going down in value, right? And I think that peace of mind is really, really solid because you don't have modern illustration rares inside of these cards that are gonna spike up to $500 or $800 the next day, and suddenly they're back down to $300 the following day. Those kind of scenarios that we're seeing right now with modern cards like the Drowsy, which went up from 30 to 80 and then back down to 30, that's not gonna happen with some of these cards. Some other cards that are consistently slowly climbing up in value, and I could have shouted out a bunch of cards, I'm just picking on some. We got ourselves the Gengar Mimikyu Tag Team GX card. This card used to be $270 at its all-time lowest point from a year ago, and now it's currently going for right around $560. Really, really, really solid, just slow, consistent growth. And that's what you're gonna see with some of these older, but still very popular cards. It's just they slowly and slowly climb. Pretty much everything from Paldea Evolved outward is going to get reprinted and restocked. So that's why the market on these cards is absolutely wild. There's people that are FOMOing and picking up many copies of them, and there are people that are dumping them onto the market because they think it's going to tank. And we really don't know how much of these cards are going to be available in a couple of years. It's kind of a little bit of a mess right now. But if you just want slow, consistent growth, it looks like some of the older products, the ones that are out of print by just a couple of years, are just consistently going up. And maybe that's something that you would rather prefer, especially right now when there's so much chaos happening in collecting as well as the whole entire globe. There's just so much chaos happening. Maybe you just want something that's really, really consistent, and that's what these cards are showing. Next card up, we got ourselves the Gyarados EX from Breakpoint. Really, really solid, gorgeous card. A year ago, it's going for $50. Right now, it's going for $100. Again, very, very slow, consistent growth. Nothing crazy here. It doesn't spike up. It doesn't spike down. You don't really have to worry about losing value on these cards. It's just super consistent. And that's what I'm seeing for some of these older cards, is that if they're just older by a couple of years, if you just look at older than Sword and Shield, you're just seeing cards consistently going up in value as people appreciate them more, but you don't really have to worry about them ever tanking in the market. And I think that's really, really neat. So in today's video, we covered a bunch of cards that are just consistently going down and down in value. So if you want to pick cards at their all-time cheapest, this list has a ton of them. And I do think that there are some underrated cards here, especially things like the hyper rare cards, which are really hard pulls and incredibly hard to come by. And if you want something that's super consistent, like I said, any set that's like 5 or 6 years old and is out of print, out of stock, and they have some really cool cards in them, you may want to pick those up because they just consistently go up, and I don't really see them dipping anytime in the near future. They're just really solid, long-term collectibles. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope this has been interesting for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.